Here's my absolute favourite bit of this week's latest news poll in The Australian. 74% of Labor voters are backing Albo's A Future Made in Australia big state economic interventionist policy. That's not surprising. Labor voters voting daftly for socialist interventions and ignoring all the history lessons about how they do not work because it feels nice. But my favourite bit of all this is that 40% of coalition voters also support big state intervention. The most fundamental anti-liberal policy you can get. 40% of people who vote for the Liberal and National parties support big state communist-style economic intervention. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I believe Australia is probably stuffed. We're doomed to an Argentinian 20th century future because we have no major centre-right or right-wing political party or majority of people. The culture war is over and the left have won. The Liberal and National parties are now officially parties in which at least half of the members are centre-left or left-wing by traditional political definitions. So our choice at elections is centre-left or left. Our choice in media will always be centre-left or left now because nobody except a shoestring budget show like this will ever present the right-wing economic view of personal responsibility because they can't afford to. And the ABC is never going to. So I reckon unless the small audience we have on this show really starts to get smart and organised somehow, Australia's future will be union, Labor and green. The tax man is coming and the value of our currency is going to plummet as fast as the debt will continue to rise. And nobody will care. The left is still trying to sell us the lie that inflation is caused by a couple of supermarkets that are price gouging. And they make only 2.5% profit a year. Yeah, pull the other one, fellas. It plays jingle bells. The Australian also noted that all this genius Aussie voter approval of the government's big interventionist agenda, quote, clashes with the view of some economists and the Productivity Commission, which has warned against taxpayers wasting dollars on favourite industries that might otherwise be unviable, unquote. No kidding. Who knew that governments are really good at wasting truckloads of money on industries that don't produce enough value to be economically viable? When's that ever happened before in history? Soviet Russia, Mao's China, every other big state communist country on earth, Malcolm Turnbull's NBN. Oh yeah, leave it to government, folks. We'll fix it. Accountable to the market, forced daily to be efficient, 100% success oriented, no perversion of goals or incentives in the bureaucracy, folks. Yep, none of that. But the Prime Minister says Australia risks being left behind in the global race to transition to cleaner economies and sovereign manufacturing unless we have more government involvement in driving investment. Right. Did you like that content? Well, there's a lot more where that came from. It comes from a show called The Other Side, which we drop a new episode of every Friday night at 8 p.m. to get you across all the news of the week for the weekend. Get you smart for the weekend without the woke. So join us on adh.tv or right here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Watch full episodes here.